This is a film for people thinking about organising a one book, one community event. My name is Danielle Fuller and I'm an academic researcher at the University of Birmingham in the United Kingdom.
And my name is DeNel Rehberg, Sedo. I am housed at Mount St. Vincent University in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, on the east coast of Atlantic Canada.
And this film is based on our observations and results of a research project into mass reading events like One Book, One Community that we've been conducting for several years. We're by no means the only people who could give you advice on organising a One Book, One Community event, but we hope that in this short film we'll give you some inspiration and also some ideas about why and how you should do a One Book, One Community event.
I think we have to start off with what exactly is a One Book, One Community event. Many people ask me about the model.
Yeah. So One Book, One Community is really like taking the idea of a book club where people meet together to discuss and share their reading experiences about a selected book, but taking it up onto a much bigger scale. And that scale could be citywide, as it is in many places in the United States, Canada, and indeed in the UK, or indeed region-wide, as has been the case in, for example, Arizona in the United States of America. But Danielle, maybe you should say something about some of the motivations for organising One Book, One Community events.
I think different people have, different organizations have different reasons for organising different kinds of reading events. It might be to promote your library and what you think your library is about. It might be to engage people of disparate communities to be involved around different kinds of programming that centers on one book. Perhaps it might be a way to engage already made book clubs in an organization, and it is a nice way for some organizations, or I should say some communities, to engage different kinds of agencies in and around books and reading.
So some of the kind of agencies and organisations that get involved in organising One Book, One Community events are typically public library systems, city councils, schools, higher education institutions like universities, some kinds of community groups as well. So it is a way of bringing together disparate organisations and creating a sense of belonging to a place or even to a particular city, or as we said before, a region.
There's different kinds of models. There's a simple model where you might just have one book and have an author reading, or you might have a more elaborate model, whereas you get different kinds of events around the book's setting, the book's author, the region in which the book is published.
Yeah, so many places or towns that organise One Books select a work of literary fiction, but there are examples of places which have selected non-fiction books, graphic novels, graphic memoirs, and these have worked very successfully, especially with graphic books which appeal more to younger readers, which is, it has to be said, a constituency that many organisers struggle to reach through this kind of event. So the key thing is to select a book that can appeal to the widest number of people and that maybe has some special tie-in to where you live, whether that's through the theme or through the person who wrote it, or indeed because it relates to a particular community group in your town or city.
Yes, and I think we should highlight the fact that this is another video that we have on our website about what we've decided we've seen as successful factors in One Book, One Community programming. Right now, I think what we should do is mention to our viewers is that the American Library Association has produced a kit for people who are interested in One Book, One Community model. And in another video, we'll give you a little bit more detail or our ideas of what we've seen that works and that which doesn't. And we also have on our website a checklist for those of you who are interested in doing some kind of community-wide, region-wide, or nationwide reading event. We've got the beginnings of what we think works.
So really the key message here is One Book, One Community can be a very simple model. It can just involve picking one book that you want to get as many people in your community to read as possible and having some very simple activities programmed around that, whether that just be book discussions, screenings of film adaptations, or an author visit, or it could be a full-scale, really elaborate version if you can get enough funding, that may involve all kinds of other art forms.
Such as art in the park, or plays, or some areas have done outdoor activities like sleepovers in parks, or perhaps canoe treks. Just depends on the book, really.
Yeah. But I guess the bottom line here is that it does work, as long as there's good enough planning. So if you are thinking that One Book, One Community might be a good way to bring people in your community together to discuss and think about an idea that comes out of one particular book, then go for it.